Hello and welcome back to another episode with Galactic Mystic. I'm your host, Candace, and today we're going to be diving into protection and cleansing. And to be more specifically, how you can utilize certain tools within your practice. What does it mean? The difference between the two, and how I've been able to really allow myself to feel protected, how I've been able to allow myself to feel cleansed in my own home, in my own aura, and even on my day-to-day basis when I do errands or take myself on a date. Protection is something that was the first thing that I learned in my spiritual practice. It wasn't certain spells, it wasn't how to do certain things, it wasn't like the properties of herbs or crystals, it wasn't any other sorts of divination. It was legit. The first thing I learned in my spiritual practice was protection. And I think the reason why I came to that conclusion, or the thing that I wanted to learn first, was because of so many movies that I love to watch. Fun fact about me, I love horror movies, and I've loved horror movies since I was a early teen. I don't know, maybe it's the fact that I am a Scorpio and the occult energy of just something different, something that we can't see, something that is terrifying. I always thought, like, if someone can make this up in a movie, then this absolutely has to be real. And if it absolutely has to be real, then there has to be a way to protect myself so that those things don't enter in my space, in my aura. And because I came from that point of view, oh my goodness, my voice. Because I came from that point of view, that is the first thing that I wanted to learn, was how to protect myself spiritually. And because it was something that was new to me, I, at the time, was still learning more of like the science things behind spirituality, meaning like frequencies and how energy is everything and the paradigm and things like that, which we'll absolutely dive into future episodes. But when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, I am scientifically thinking about ways to understand my mind and the spiritual realm. But on a more spiritual aspect, how can I protect myself as I dive into that realm, the thing that is the unknown, that you can't see through the naked eye? It really is through feeling and sensing. It's you utilizing your other senses other than the main one, which would be your sight. And so for me, I really dived into what does it mean to protect, and how could I protect myself? What are the means of protection, and could this protection really help me along the way of my spiritual practice? And is there different forms of it? And to answer all of these questions, that answer is yes. There are multiple different forms of protection. There are different forms of protection in different cultures, in different religions. Some that are closed, some that are open, some that are only cultural based for certain individuals, and some that are, or that have been washed down through society, through our government, or through just people wanting to sprinkle their own energy into it, knowing damn well they don't need to be spreading their energy into something that wasn't culturally made or culturally created for them. No shame or anything like that, but I'm just speaking facts here. So I want to talk about my form of protection, or the things that I use for protection. And I invite you to try to see if maybe these things can help you. Now, for me, I am an elemental witch. I love using the elements of the earth, or I guess the elements of the universe, and utilizing those things to my benefit. I feel as if, like, when I'm utilizing these things, I am actually more connected to the universe. I am more connected to myself, my soul energy, than anything else, because we are all one. We are a part of the universe. We are a part of source. So if we can utilize those same things in our practices for protection or for cleansing, it really just helps me feel more connected and more protected. So, one of the things that I'm going to say that you're probably going to be annoyed about, because I can already hear what you guys are going to say, but one of the best ways that I can tell you right now on how to really spiritually protect yourself is through meditation. I know, I know. And if you've been on my live streams, if you guys have ever asked me that question, my answer to you will always be meditation. And here's my reason behind that. Meditation is not just something that tells you to shut the fuck up so you can hear what's going on, but it's also a way for you to just sense your area, to sense yourself, to sense your own energy. If you don't know what your own energy feels like, if you don't know what your own energy smells like, senses, taste, all that kind of stuff, if you have no idea what you are like, then there is no other way for you to understand when something or someone is either depleting your own energy or is adding more chaos to your energy that makes you automatically feel unbalanced. So the best way that you can really feel yourself energetically, to understand what's around you, is to shut the fuck up and do meditation. Yes, meditation brings you a lot of answers, and those answers could be things if you're looking for them, right? If you're looking for shadow work, if you're looking to connect to your inner child, if you're looking to just calm down, if you are any type of fire sign, meditation will help, just a side note. But if you are really trying to learn protection, you have to first understand your own energy. The best way for you to understand your own energy is through meditation. Meditation is going to have you understand your own your own frequency. And when you can slow down your mind, when you can allow your body to rest, when you can just be present, that is how you really connect to yourself. You'll start to understand you a lot better. And when you can understand you a lot better in a more spiritual aspect, you'll absolutely immediately know when someone's trying to send you an evil eye, when you are just not feeling physically okay, when mentally you may not be feeling okay. Spiritually, you'll absolutely feel as if someone is trying to cause harm to you. You'll sense that shit. If you are in your own home and you're cooking and you feel something or someone come in, you will automatically know that it is not you, it is something else that you cannot see. And it would allow you to be like, okay, maybe I need to put up some more protection barriers. Maybe I need to cleanse my aura. Whatever it is, it will give you a more broader aspect of what is in your room, in your space, or within you. And so, yes, the first thing I'm going to tell you is for you to start really meditating and really feeling a sense of self. Now, when you meditate, you can absolutely put a form of protection around you. And that's honestly what I first learned. I think I heard this through one guided meditation where she was really having actually, now that I think about it, yes, it was through a YouTube meditation. This is when I first started to really think about wanting to do spell work. And before I dived into spell work, I really wanted to again get a sense of my own energy. And so grounding was one of the things that was important for me to learn as I was meditating. So as she was talking about grounding, she was making the conversation about how you can slow down your mind, slow down your body. And when you're slowing down your body, or when you get to that place of slowing down, she was like, imagine yourself I guess for me, through that meditation, I learned to slow down my mind, slow down my body. And because at that same time, I was learning about chakras and how the chakras are really aligned, I, for me, started to really put the energy of like, okay, allowing that energy center of my root, my sacral, my solar plexus, my heart, my throat, my third eye, and my crown to really be centered. That helped me be automatically aligned. Then on top of that, I started to really imagine a white light around me. And through that guided meditation, she was really teaching how to really think about a white light surrounding you. And so for me, I use that white light as a form of protection. I am energetically aligned with myself with that chakras. But with that white light, it added a layer of protection for me. And so that is how I was able to really create my own form of adding meditation to then add in the protection. And so as I'm meditating, I am spiritually protecting myself so that nothing can come in as I am meditating. I am at one. I'm either connecting with my spiritual counsel or I'm connecting to with my higher self. And I'm allowing myself to really be connected in that sense. And ever since then, that's how I've been able to really find myself real quick. I can immediately do this before I do any type of readings for a live stream, any type of readings for my clients. If I myself am feeling down or weird, I know immediately what I need to do. Go to my place of just centering myself, grounding myself, allowing myself to decompress from the outside world, and it allows me to really hone in. So meditation and protection is absolutely hand in hand. And if you practice these things and allow them to really be in the flow of your day-to-day routine, you can absolutely be in that flow of I'm connected, I am one, I am protected, I am cleansed, I am here, I am present. Now, through this type of spiritual protection, it can protect you from energy vampires. And energy vampires are individuals who energetically soak up your shit. Especially if you are an empath, someone who is intuitively connected to other people's energies automatically. Not only does this protect you from those individuals who will soak up your good energy, but it also prevents you from soaking up their negative energy. Going back to what I said at the beginning of this episode, protection is a great way for you to sense your own energy. And so when you're sensing your own energy, you already know what you are and how you feel. And when you get around certain individuals, if you feel drained, if you feel like, oh man, I can't do anything else, or I'm just emotionally feeling like I wasn't feeling this before. Like, why am I feeling so weird? Like, why do I feel like I'm so sad when I was happy before? It's because, you were, unbeknownst to you, around individuals who have been soaking up your energy. So this type of spiritually protecting yourself, of doing that protection shield, by doing that form of meditation, it helps you in so many ways that it allows you to be in your own energy again without having to soak up someone else's negative energy. On top of that spiritually protection, it also protects you not only from physical individuals, but also protects you from spiritual energies that you cannot see. There are demons out there. There are absolutely people who are praising this type of negative energy all the time. And some, if not all, a lot of people have probably had a dark energy within them that allows them to soak up all that alcohol, to soak up all that sadness and depression, and they feed off of those lower vibrational frequencies. So absolutely, you probably have encountered with some dark energy in some point in your life. I know I have, and I know at one point one of them really fed off of my energy, because, you know, you could look at that with your past relationships or even the people in your family members that may have that type of energy within them. So you having this type of spiritual protection is like a cloak, you know, it's like it is keeping you away from those energies that would do you harm, that would wish you harm, that would love to see you in some type of demise rather than you being spiritually happy feeling blessed, connected, all that stuff. I also just want to say with that type of protection, this also does allow you to connect to your own ancestors. Ancestry work is such a beautiful thing, which we'll talk about, because I feel like that is in a sense a collaboration episode, because I would love to get different cultures together to talk about that type of energy. But your ancestors is a very beautiful way for also bringing in a form of protection, especially if you are in the cultural of any type of culture. To be honest with you, if you are connected to your ancestors, they will protect you in any sense that they can, especially spiritually. They will guide you in different ways. But I can tell you right now, from someone who has been protected by her ancestors, they are protective as fuck. And they really do not want certain energies around you, especially if they are demeaning you, if they are disrespecting you, if they are a lower frequency, if there's anything that is negative. They do not want that shit around you, and they will protect you. And their form of protection will not be so spiritual. Sometimes they will cause chaos in your life to derail you and change your direction. But again, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother episode in itself. But your ancestors is another form of protection. Using their force of love is a form of protection. Speaking of love, love is a form of a spiritual protection as well. You having that type of love of your own energy is very much so an important thing within you. It is a vibrational thing. It is a statement to other energies, especially the dark ones. Because again, like I said, those dark energies don't really like the fact that, that you would be happy in love, having compassion, things like that. They don't thrive in those conditions. They thrive in lower frequency conditions. And so when your energy in itself is already positive, it's already uplifting, it's already in the movement of happiness, that alone is spreading more joy to the outside world, to the universe. It's spreading in a more faster rate, but it's also protecting you in your own sense of your own energy too. Now, besides doing the meditation and having that protection field, utilizing your ancestors, having that universal love within self and spreading that outward as a form of protection, you can also use other objects or other things that are a part of that elemental magic, that elemental-esque, if you will, when it comes to protection. Herbs and spices are one of my favorite ways to incorporate protection as well as cleansing into my practice. Now, what I love about Mother Earth and how she's been able to provide us with numerous different types of things, they're so versatile. There's so many herbs and crystals and objects and tools that can be utilized from the Mother Earth for both protection and for cleansing. And if you use them, if you understand the properties of these herbs, spices, and crystals, you can literally use them for so many different ways. So instead of you just having that spiritual protection, right, you can physically have that protection around you. So I'm just going to provide you guys with a few items that are great for protection that you can utilize around your home. You can put them in so many different things, from your home spells to just jars to placing these around your home. There's so many different ways that you can utilize herbs in its sense, even kitchen wise. If you're a cooking witch, if you're a cook witch, if you like using that, you can use herbs in your own kitchen, that kind of thing, making meals, simmer pots. Oh my God, I'm getting overhand, but okay. Getting back to what I was saying. Herbs. So here are some of my favorite herbs that you can utilize in protection spells or just around your home, that can utilize that physical protection barrier for you. So obviously the first one has to be salt. Now, salt can be so universal in a way that you can added to different things to create your own black salt, blue salt, yellow salt. Each of those salts have different properties in themselves. Black salt is probably one of my next favorites on top of salt, because black salt comes from different items from Mother Earth, which would be adding more like ashes from incense, charcoal, herbs that we're going to go into now. There's so many different ways to make black salt, but ultimately it's a more stronger protection salt that will protect you, your spells, your home, whatever. Eggshells is another good way for utilizing protection. There's dragon's blood. Dragon's blood can be a little strong, but it also is a great replacement if you are not indigenous to use sage, white sage to be specific. Blue sage is okay, but if you are going to use white sage, I would absolutely say that you use dragon's blood as a different type of sage to use. Star anise, juniper pepper, basil is one of my favorites. Mint is also a favorite of mine. Lavender too, jasmine, thyme, rosemary. I love putting rosemary, like dry rosemary sprigs, next to my door, because that is providing protection in my home before any individuals will come in. It also sucks up that dark energy, or anyone that would have came in, their energy soaks it up too. So very great property to use for protection. Another one is if you are into plant work, if you really are like a green thumb, you can utilize a money plant or a jade plant. Those two plants in themselves are great ways to bring forth protection in your home. They will soak up that negative energy for you. So just putting that out there as far as like different types of herbs and plants that is Mother Earth based, or element of earth. So now that we dived into the herbs, let's now go ahead and dive into the different types of crystals that you can be utilizing in your protection. Now, crystals are a fantastic way for you, getting connected to your own energy. I also went for me, just a sidebar, when I started my spiritual awakening, I was really loving crystals and the properties that it could have. And I literally bought crystals for my top 3 just so that I can connect more to those energies. So just a sidebar, you could do that to you for yourself. If that's like a beginner way for you to really connect to crystals, buy crystals that are for your zodiac sign, and then program them for that specific reason. But getting into the protection, the crystals that you can use for protection is as follows. There is onyx, which is absolutely one of my favorites. So is obsidian, smoky quartz, black tourmaline is probably number 1. And then hematite is also another good one for protection. There's actually a gajillion different types of crystals for protection, just like there's a gajillion different types of herbs for protection. You choose which one that feels good with you. And then when you get those crystals, make sure that you are programming it. Program it meaning make sure that you are cleansing it, which we'll get into here in a moment. Cleansing your crystal and then programming it, meaning you are telling it, you are putting your energy into the crystal and saying, this is what I'm asking you to do for me. So if that is you getting malachite and you programming it so that it matches your Scorpio energy, allow it to match your Scorpio energy so it can help you purge anything that you don't need to purge, connect to yourself in a more deeper emotional base. Whatever that is how you would program your crystals for whatever. So in this case, the crystals that I mentioned earlier, you can program them to remove any negative energy, to keep you grounded, to have this protect your barrier around you, setting different types of boundaries. And those crystals can be placed on you, around your home, in your items like your purse, your desk, your bra. Doesn't really matter. It's however you want to do it, but just allow these crystals to help form this protection for you. So now that we dived into protection, now let's tackle the big one, cleansing. Now, Like protection, cleansing is an important aspect of the spiritual community. The act of cleansing is to remove any unwanted energy. This unwanted energy can come from your tools, from yourself, your home, your car, wherever, like your purse, whatever it is, any item that is here in this 3D plane, you could be utilizing cleansing as a form of, or you can utilize items to cleanse your space. And that also goes in the same hand with your home as well. Your home is your space. And if you, again, with that protection energy of you knowing how your energy is a little bit different, you'll have a big sense about how or what area you need to really cleanse, what you need to really let the flow of negative energy flow out of your space. It will allow you to understand your energy a lot better, like I've been saying. And cleansing is absolutely important, specifically if you are doing in the spiritual realm of any aspect, whether that be you doing any types of divination, if you are buying crystals, if you are buying herbs, if you are buying anything that would come into your practice, you should be cleansing those items. Anything to do with your home that is spiritual based, you should be cleansing those items. Again, going back to the beginning of this episode and how I was talking about protection is important, your energy and your frequency is important. If you are noticing that your energy is low or it is not up to par how it usually is, you probably need to cleanse that item. And specifically, if you are utilizing crystals, herbs, tools, whatever, pendulum, tarot cards into your daily practice, if you're utilizing it for your customers, if you're just utilizing it to help your friends and family, utilizing it in general, you need to be cleansing your items. And that is to ensure that the energy that that thing is holding is literally, has no negative connotation. It has no negative frequency, has no negative attachments to it. Specifically, if you are utilizing this for divination and utilizing it for other people in your space or for your customers, please cleanse your stuff, because that's making sure that you're not transforming that energy of the past reading to your next client. It's cleansing. It should be like a one-on-one when you're utilizing tools, but also in your space as well. Now, I do want to quickly just touch base on the word banishing. Now, banishing and cleansing are absolutely not the same thing. Banishing is more of a push out, like getting rid of a spirit, than cleansing. When it comes to cleansing is here to remove unwanted energies from a person, place, or thing, a space. It's a form of removing spiritual energy. It does not remove anything physical from your life. And let me just kind of go through this list here, because I feel like a lot of people utilize cleansing for these things, and it is not the same thing. It is not going to do what you're asking it for. So let's just go through the list. Cleansing cannot do the following. It cannot remove you from a different situation to another, whether that be like a job, a relationship, or home. It cannot remove people from your life. It cannot change or remove emotions that you may be feeling. It cannot remove any type of illness. Okay? Invoke any type of efforts of karma being sent to another individual. Cleansing does not do that. It cannot remove or alter any type of memories that you may have. And it cannot get rid of any type of bad habits, decisions that you may have had to stop procrastination, or even dating certain people. Cleansing does not do any of those things at all. Cleansing, again, is removing any spiritual energy that is on a physical item that you're utilizing for your practice, or anything that's around your space in your aura. It's removing any of those negative, lower vibrational energies that are around you. Now, banishing is more of you banishing like some type of exorcism. That's what banishing is. Banishing is you removing a spiritual, negative, demon-like energy that has been attached to you. That is what banishing. Cleansing is a form of maintenance. Okay. I like to tell people, and this is what I told people in my ebook for protection and cleansing, is like cleansing is a form of maintenance. It goes hand in hand with your cleaning that you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis in your home, whether that be you cleansing or washing your dishes, vacuuming the floor, cleaning your bathroom. That is a maintenance thing that you do on a daily or weekly basis. It should be a part of your routine. Banishing is then removing energies that has been latched onto you or has been latched onto certain objects in your home. That is what banishing is. And again, banishing is like, exorcism, things where you would probably need to call in an actual priest or higher consciousness individuals to cleanse out your home or that individual. Okay. Now, I hope you can understand the basis of that, but I do just want to provide different ways to cleanse. Now, one of the most easiest ways to cleanse your space or tools is by doing a smoke cleanse. Now, the smoke cleanse that you can utilize in your practice can be herbal bundles. These bundles can include dragon's blood, blue sage, not white sage, because we're not appropriating here. It could also lead into different types of incense, and incense can go into forms of stick, of resin, even dry herbs, which is kind of my favorite, of just like picking different herbs, mixing it together, and allowing yourself to create your own incense in that will. Another one of my favorite ways to smoke cleanse is using Palo Santo sticks. And you can even also program your candles that you use to do the same thing. These candles, doesn't matter. It could be those pillar candles that you buy at Walmart for like $1, or it could be those expensive luxury candles that you buy at your favorite store. That's like $29.99. You can also purchase candles, spiritual candles that have been made for that specific reason. But again, utilize that practice of you receiving that candle, of you taking something to cleanse it, which could be either these ways that I'm telling you now, the smoke cleanse, and further on as we get into the episode. Or, you can place your positive intention into it. There's so many different ways that you can utilize this energy. But my favorite way, and the most easiest way, and the most fun, easy, and what do you want to call, how I want to say this, personalized way to do it is through smoke. So another way for you to cleanse your objects or yourself is creating a cleansing spray. Now, this cleansing spray can be however you want to make it. There are probably tons of different recipes that you can utilize for a cleansing spray. You can also purchase cleansing sprays from your local apothecary or spiritual based business. Another thing that you could utilize for a spray would be Florida water. Florida water is not a close practice, but you can utilize that in your manifestations for cleansing, for protection, Florida water is a great aspect to utilize in your practice. Now, another thing that you can utilize for ways of cleansing your space or your aura or items is bells, wind chimes, sound bowls, and Safriano frequency music. These are all another way of you cleansing your space. Sound is another way. I hope you understand how I've been utilizing the elements this entire time by me telling you this. I have been providing you guys elemental ways for you to cleanse and protect yourself. So the smoke cleanse is obviously air. The Florida water and the spray is obviously water. The bells and whatnot is obviously air. Again, it's also frequency, allowing that energy to flow through. Another way that you can utilize cleansing is Mother Earth, and you can utilize her by using herbs, crystal, even the dirt. Yes, you can utilize the dirt to cleanse your tools. You can utilize the dirt to cleanse your own space. You can put your bare feet on the ground and literally allow the soil to help cleanse you. That includes sand as well. Use Mother Earth. She is here to cleanse you. She's here to help utilize or transmute one energy to another. That's why I love elemental magic so much. It goes hand in hand with so many different things. Another good way for you to utilize Mother Earth. Again, we can use salt for cleansing. You can use salt to cleanse out your crystals too. You could put salt in a bowl and cleanse out your crystals that way. Rice is another great way to utilize cleansing. You can utilize that for your space. You could put other energies with the rice to have like your own cleansing bowl. There's so many different ways with that. Another way for you to cleanse is utilizing both the sun and the moon. The moon is, yes, more intuitive and it's more feminine, and the sun is more masculine. It's more radiant. It's more pungent. So you take that as you want to resonate on how that would be a great option for you to cleanse. But you say, for instance, or I'll give you this option, or this is how I put it to you. When I'm cleansing a new deck, I like to smoke cleanse it. I like to blow it out, like using my own breath as to cleansing this, to cleanse the actual deck. I then like to place my cards underneath either a full moon, a new moon. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what phase it's in. The moon is going to charge that so that it's amplifying that. So there's my way of how I'm able to cleanse my tools in my aura. I utilize both those things. Celie Knight is also a great option for you to utilize for your cleansing. Celie Knight can be utilized to cleanse other crystals, to cleanse your own self. I have to be honest, Celie Knight is probably one of the first crystals that I bought. And I literally remember going to the metaphysical store, walking around and being like, I just don't know what I want. And I saw the Celie Knight and I was like, okay, obviously I need to get this because it says it's cleansing, it's protective, it can charge other crystals. It's a multi-purposely used crystal. And also it's just really good for your crown chakra as well. So, use Celie Knight if you want, because it helped me in my beginning stages of my spiritual practice. And I absolutely know that can help you as well. Another way for you to cleanse your aura is to do a spiritual bath. Now, I do just want to also say that spiritual baths is a part of a closed practice. And these practices that it includes is hoodoo, voodoo, African spirituality, Latina spiritual cultures as well. These are the things that my ancestors had used to protect themselves. And they used what they had, the herbs that are around them, the crystals that are around them, the water, utilizing the moon. They did this outside. It wasn't in a bathtub. It was literally doing it the way that they know how, which is being out in Mother Earth and asking her to protect her with the herbs that are around her. So I do just want to say that is a close practice. So I know it's a little oxymoron that I show how I do it. But there's different ways to do spiritual practice. There's different ways to do spiritual baths. So I just want to point that out there, but it is a close practice. When I do share my spells or my close practices, things like the removing of like the egg cleanse and things like that, which we'll get into a second. Those are things that I have asked my ancestors or my own spiritual counsel and said, can I show this to the collective? And their response to me 9 times out of 10 is yes, you can share this with the collective. So if it wasn't something I wasn't able to share, I wouldn't have shared it. And I know a lot of people have that negative condensation about it, and that's fine. I can't control what they do. I can only control myself. And if I'm being honest with you guys and I'm telling you guys that it's been said that I can share, then I'm going to share it with you. So moving on to an actual egg cleanse. Egg cleanse is a part of Latina and Mexican culture. This is something that they utilize a lot to remove negative energies that may have been placed on their aura, evil eye. And it for me, I utilized it a lot in the last like maybe a year and a half. I haven't done it in a very long time though, but I will say this, it absolutely has helped me understand who, what, where, why, who was attacking me, what were they trying to do? Is there a spell work being placed upon me right now? How can I send that back to the sender so that my energy is cleansed? When I ever do an egg cleanse, I absolutely do the egg cleanse. I take a shower. I then utilize and create a spiritual bath so that I'm then being protected and my aura is being cleansed. Like those are like when I do an egg cleanse, I know that it's going to be a whole day of me kind of just being in my own energy because I don't feel right. I need to remove it. I need to see who was doing it. I need to send energy back to where it came from. I then need to cleanse my physical body and my spiritual body, which makes me do that spiritual bath. And that's also for me getting all the herbs and things like that that I know I need, that my spiritual counsel was saying to put into my mixture. So there's so many things that go along with that. But I just want to point out there that that's how I would do an egg cleanse. And I'm not going to talk about egg cleanse because there are a ton of different videos that I have posted on my Subconscious Moon playlist. I think it's on TikTok, where I talk about the egg cleanse, what it looks like, how to do it, why it's important, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to check that out, please go do so. But I'm not going to talk about it on here. The last thing that I want to talk about as far as different ways of cleansing is you can go see a Reiki healer. And I've personally never been to a Reiki healer. I have personally been told that my hands are of healers, and that's probably why I've been able to really heal my own energy a lot, is because I feel where my body is holding in that negative energy, where I'm emotionally holding it in, spiritually holding it in. For those individuals who are not like a healer yourself or an empath, I really do highly recommend that you do see someone of that caliber, because allowing someone else to help heal you from that spiritual aspect will probably open a lot more doors for you that you feel as if maybe have been stuck, that you haven't been able to really get a clear indication, like, why is this going through, or why am I feeling this? Reiki healing is such a beautiful spiritual practice that not only cleanses, but it also provides a healing aspect to it emotionally, like I've been saying, mentally, and absolutely spiritually. Now, the last thing that I do want to say that are ways that you can cleanse yourself is visualizing it. Visualize literally you pulling out any negative energy from your third eye, from any of your chakra centers, just from your own aura, and just saying, like, all this negative energy go. Like, I am pulling you up. I am saying that you are no longer available in my aura. You are removed from me. This is a different type of visualization, just like we visualize protection at the earlier portions of this episode. You too can visualize yourself cleansing your aura as well. It just takes practice. It takes you utilizing that right side of your brain to really visualize yourself removing any negative energy that has been around your aura, that has been keeping you or making you feel as if like you're sick mentally, spiritually. It just all depends on how you're feeling, but visualization is a great way for you to really feel that energy being removed from your aura space. So that is going to be the end of this episode, where we talk about protection, cleansing, the differences, how to utilize it, the different types of tools you can use, things that are absolutely available in your disposal to utilize in your own practice on a day-to-day basis. I can absolutely say that in our next episode, we're going to be diving into frequency. And I feel like we need to talk about energy and frequency, because this is something that really jump-started my reasoning to become a vegan, my reasoning to start listening to different types of music, me understanding that everything has frequency, energy is frequency. And if you're trying to manifest something, you're going to have to learn that frequency. You're going to have to know how to tune into that energy. You're going to have to, if you're trying to remove certain things and heal and do the shadow work, you're going to have to dive into that energy centers of your chakras, or just yourself, on diving into your own energy. And again, you guys know I'm an energy-based bitch. I'm an energy-based practitioner. So this is the things that I really want to talk about this episode, are really things that are really attached to me, because it allows me to share with you how I started and the reason why I do what I do. And it's because not only did I learn the science behind things, which would be the frequency, the understanding of that, I also took the time to learn the spiritual side of the frequency, or spiritual side, to learn about my paradigm. And so these are going to be things that we're going to be talking about. And in our next episode, we're going to be diving into frequency and energy and how that plays a big role throughout our entire day-to-day mundane boss bitch spiritual alignment that we are all in. So I just want to say thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I highly hope you guys learned something here. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know if this is something that you did enjoy. And with that being said, I will catch you guys at our next episode. Bye guys.